Hello and welcome back to the Impression Wiz channel. I'm your host, the Impression Wiz, and welcome back again to pESTERQUEST. And as of recently, there's a new update which now Erden and Fifery are part of. So that is all of the post-scratch trolls and pre-scratch humans. I honestly have no idea if they're going to be doing any more characters. So, and I've been trying to keep up with all of it, trying to get at least all the male characters recorded and done for videos. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and straight say it that I'm going to do the female ones as soon as I've done all of the male ones. And then I'll finally get back to Friend Sim, possibly. Hopefully. But for right now, I'm just going to finish off the males for all the trolls. And today's will be Tavros. You're enjoying a brisk, head-clearing walk in the Alternian moonlight when the plot comes screaming towards you. Literally. You don't even have time for introspection. Ah! You turn your head to see a guy in a wheelchair, whizzing down a nearby hill. He's got a phone in one hand, making it difficult for him to control his descent with the other. You quickly rush over in time to see him hit a rock and go flying through the air with an impressive arc. Ugh! You bring the fallen wheelchair over to him. He stares at you for a second, and then pulls himself back into it with a grunt. Thank you. Weird and ugly alien stranger. Ooh, I like this music. Once he settles into the chair, you look over to the boy, and you just helped. He's lanky and scrawny, except for his oversized horns, giving the impression of a boy going through a very awkward puberty. His wheelchair is simple and flimsy, and it looks like it's gone through a lot of wear and tear. Oh, introductorily speaking, I should say that my name is Tavros. Tavros. As is now usual for you, the name sounds familiar even though you're not sure any of the other friends mentioned him by name. You gave him a proper greeting and then ask what happened, and he nods towards the old watchtower at the top of the hill. I was attempting to scale towards the tower to acquire a rare Phytospawn Go monster. What is named Wolfpine. Almost like trying to pronounce certain Pokemon names. Yeesh. Well, Phytospawn Go, ha 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 ha, Pokemon Go. Yeah, okay. It's ranked Aether Mystic Triple Rare class, which is one of the rarest of all. At least concerning monsters that can be found in low-blooded neighborhoods. But it appears to be tragically out of my reach, no matter how much I believe in my ability to pursue it. You don't know what a Phytospawn is? Or Phytospawn? I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry. But maybe you could help. You've wrangled a few monsters in your time. What? You know, you could help push them up the hill, maybe fight some giant horrifying beast, the usual. Wow, I normally am expected to do everything myself. Always. The only trolls who offer me help are those who live too far away to actually do anything of consequence. Which is fine. I get it, but it's pretty useless to me. Anyway, no. What? I don't want your help, on account of if I take it, I will be weakening myself and failing to grow as a troll. Don't listen to the... Ah! Tavros, my boy, don't do this to yourself. Help is always a good thing to get. And I guess that's a lesson to everybody out there is don't be afraid to ask for help in anything. Something I actually dealt with trying to do things without help, and it wasn't easy. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, back to it. I will just have to try again and get grievously hurt in the process, probably. Don't worry. Tavros begins to wheel back towards the hill. You know how this story goes. You'll have to spend your entire evening convincing this poor troll boy that it's okay to accept help from others. You launch into a gentle pitch about how help from a friend can... Oh, well, if you say so, then I can accept your help. Well, at least I got my message through before... Anyway. Oh, that was easy. You follow Tavros up the hill. When he reaches the steepest part of his... At the steepest part, his wheels begin to lose traction. You step in behind him to give him a little push he needs. The two of you are successful in scaling the hill, and Tavros grins and taps at his phone. Oh, it's a phone game? No real monsters involved? Holy shit. This is new to you.
Yes. Vulpine is now acquired. Thank you so greatly. Maybe the cartoons for Wrigglers were right all along. And friendship is truly the greatest source of power to exist.
Oh, Tavros. I love you, buddy. Finally, someone who gets it! You ask if he wants a quick ride home, and he tilts his head in confusion.
I already have a ride. Always. I'm sitting in it.
Not like that. You're telling him it's hard to explain. Just trust you on this one.
Okay, let's go.
I don't know if that's a voice I've given in the past for other things, but here we go. With that, you grip his chair and focus your energy, and zap over to his hive.
Whoa, are you magic?
Why did that almost go surfer dude like, whoa, or whoa? Anyway, yes.
Awesome. Do you know any fairies?
No.
Shucks.
Tavros glances around the room and you find... And you follow suit. Blah, 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 blah. And apparently you can't read. Your eyes settle on an advertisement for the theatrical run of Pupa Pan. That kind of looks like Vriska as a fairy in the back. On the computer. Just kind of funny. Anyway, a pinch of special stardust is all it takes to fly. Brought to you by Her Imperious Condescension's 19th favorite theater company, reserved seating for high bloods. Hecklers will be called. Oh my. Even if they're high-blooded hecklers? I guess I'll never know about that. The rest of the room is rather plain and sparsely decorated. The floor is scattered with messy gaming supplies.
So, this is my hive. What do you think? Would you categorize this as pad, as sufficiently cool?
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry, my motherfucking friend. You are pretty darn good with this one.
I'm sorry, I had to do that. You glance at the framed picture of a fey trickster in booty shorts. Sure, yeah, this pad is cool as hell.
Excellent. I hoped you would. Your approval is most good to have. I thought you might be uninterested on account of me being boring and kind of sad.
Aw, boring and sad kids are your favorite, you tell Tavros. Wait, that sounds terrible. Ignore that. You mean you relish the opportunity to make people less sad.
Oh, don't worry then, because I'm definitely sorrowful enough to satisfy. Also, I'm not great at talking either, so we have at least one point of failure in common.
Thanks? And me just messing up trying to talk earlier, that's just so fitting. Tavros flashes you a thumbs up and a wink. Almost like Dirk's finger guns and a wink. Anyway, he wheels closer to you, and one of his scattered cards crunches under the treads and gets stuck. Necessitating a bit of finagling, you must admit you're a little surprised by the wheelchair. Your experience on Alternia would suggest that their culture is not very kind to the disabled.
Oh, it's very isn't.
There is a long story behind the fact of me being like this.
Kanaya says not to talk about it because it hurts my self-esteem.
Oh, okay, that's fine. You turn your attention to some of his cards. Perhaps he can teach you...
Well, if you insist, I will reveal to you my tragic backstory. I used to be more of a hardcore gamer who would do the extreme roleplays. And I had a friend, or I thought she was my friend, who I did flarp with.
Oh, you're familiar with flarp. You're, well, you don't remember what your class was. But you've got a great flarp friend who might love to meet.
Well, I don't play anymore. Because this old friend of mine did a bad thing to me, resulting in a chain of revenge that was very tragical. Essentially, the story is that I was thrown off a cliff, physically, and became heavily injured, which resulted in my legs not working.
Oh god, that sounds terrible. I think I know a guy that might be able to help you with that. And he just happens to be exceptionally strong.
The culprit continues to hassle me sometimes in ways which are supposedly remorseful, but mostly continue to make me feel bad. For instance, trying to make me learn how to climb stairs or fight better, or tell me I'm useless and awful because I can't. Although she also sent me this four-wheel device, which helps me to not be cold, so that's nice, I guess. Although maybe she wouldn't have done that if Kanaya didn't say to. I don't know. She's hard to understand.
I can understand not being able to understand. Okay, that hurt my brain.
Sometimes very nice, and other times extremely not nice. And I can't figure out how she truly feels about me.
Wow, this girl Tavros is talking about seems like a real piece of work. You sure are glad none of your friends are anything like that. Technically, how I've been playing it, that's true, but,
Yeah, but maybe it's best to not think about her, actually. Kanaya was right. Why don't I teach you how to play?
Oh boy, they're gonna make me do her voice. Thanks. Fair warning, female voices are not my forte, so... Tavros. Tavros freezing up instinctively. Tavros freezes up instinctively. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh no, that's her. The one who injured me.
Oh no, your spine ices over. You recognize that telltale, exaggerated call. But how can this be? How could your dear, sweet, precious friend Vriska... I'm sorry, I can't read that with a straight face. Okay. How could your sweet, precious friend Vriska have done such a terrible thing to... Okay, yeah. No, this tracks. Maybe she did do one thing wrong. Thank you. But why? This isn't like the other kids she killed. You know Vriska is violent and volatile. She had to be to survive, but to harass Tavros after the fact instead of just feeding him to her Lucis? It doesn't make sense. You feel sick to your stomach. Hey, Tavros, you haven't been answering my messages. We need to talk. That's probably what she'll sound like when I play her in the future. Her voice comes from outside the window as it moves around the perimeter of the house. You glance at Tavros' stricken face as you hear the sounds of keys jingling in a lock. Fuck, she has the keys to his hive? Why does she have keys to his hive? Well, hi there, Miss... You know who. Tavros groans and leans back in his chair. Vriska barges into the respite block and then freezes up. Oh, hey. Yeah, it's Mr. Whiteface. I will be the mediator if I need to be. Hey, you say with an awkward wave. Vriska seems uncomfortable. I didn't know you knew this dork. Or I didn't know you knew this dork. It's a friendship in progress. Tavros has told you some things about their past together. Of course he has. Okay, listen. No. I don't want to listen. But I know it sounds bad, because it is, and I get that, okay? Way back when, it was less than a sweep ago. Thank you, Tavros. I was part of a FLARP campaign that went way off the rails, and Tavros ended up getting thrown off a cliff. It was basically my fault. But that's all in the past now. Things are better now. I hooked Tavros up with this sweet wheelchair and everything. It's not that sweet. Shut up, Tavros. I'm talking about how terrible I feel about hurting you. Tavros cringes, and you try to intercede on his behalf. Why is Vriska here? Oh, right. I'm here to extend an olive branch. Very magnanimously. I think I did that right. So, if you ask me. Terezi and I are getting the band back together. Not for FLARP, obviously. That ship has sailed, but we're going to whip this planet into shape and we need all the help we can get. You've spent enough time moping around uselessly. Blah, blah, blah. It's time for some action. You're in, right? No? What do you mean, no? I mean, I don't really want to do anything exciting or dangerous like that. And especially because you're going to be involved. I don't think it would be good for me to also be... Oh, come on! Things are totally square between us, Tavros. We all got hurt. Besides, I'm just trying to help you live up to your potential. You could be somebody. You should finally start living up to your legacy. I don't want to be somebody, at least not your kind of somebody. Tough luck, Toreador. None of us get that choice. If nothing changes by the time your rites of maturation rolls around, you're screwed. The drones will cull you in an instant. Vriska turns to you, her eye is wide, her fist trembling, her frustrated glare barely conceals the desperation beneath. I mean, you agree with me, right? Tavros needs to shape up. He needs us. It's time we put the past behind us and moved on. I'm just trying to help him. Don't you dare tell me that I'm going to have to make a choice here. She leans closer. It's obvious she wants you to back her up. She leans... Why did you give me 3 choices? Oh, boy. Well, with my knowledge of how things have gone, I could either end up choosing the good side or one of the bad sides, and I'm thinking there's two bad sides here. I think the good one would be don't take a side, but I also want to side with Tavros because nobody sides with Tavros in the main comic. Usually it's like, well, they do, but it's kind of too late to have someone side with him by then, if that makes sense. I know it's going to be a failing one, and I'll probably have to come back here, and I don't know how long I've been recording. I don't think I've been recording that long, so I might be able to get to the second option at some point. But I'm going to go with Tavros. You take a step closer to Tavros, and Vriska visibly deflates. Come on, buddy. You can't seriously be on his side. Yes, you can be, and you are. You think you understand now. You see how Vriska took her suffering and bewilderedness and passed it along. You see how, under beastly tutelage, she learned to sink her fangs into her prey and tell herself she was doing it for their own good. She is like that. Crap. In these two, you see a microcosm of Alternia, of hurt kids hurting kids, until finally the buck stops at the kindest or weakest among them. So no matter how much sympathy you have for her, you can't stand idly by and let Vriska continue this cycle of hurt. You tell Vriska to look at Tavros, really look at him, and ask herself if her help has done anything for him. Isn't this the kind of suffering that she and Terezi want to prevent? Right now, the best thing she can do for Tavros is to leave him alone. Oh, I feel like I've gotten a load off to her. Whew. And I would actually, if these were real characters, I would give up my mind to them in this case. I would. Whew. I'm sorry, I'm having a bit of an emotional thing there with that. But that's not going to be how she takes it. Here we go. Leave him alone? You don't get it. None of you do. If I leave him alone, he's toast. Seriously, how have you not figured that out by now? You've seen what this planet is like. You think we can just flip a switch and fix everything overday? He's a worthless loser living in a world that hates losers. And I hate that I can actually read the word hate with an H and an 8, but... And if that doesn't change, he's going to die a sad, pathetic death. And you and Kanaya and everyone else, you're just enabling him. When he croaks, it's going to be on your head, not mine. So if you'd rather hang with Tavros in his make-believe fairyland, be my guest. But some of us are still going to be living here in the real world. You and Vriska spend a while staring at each other. All you can muster is a look of pity, which only seems to incense her further. Her face scrunches up, and then she goes steely and flat. Her voice is insolently calm. You two have your fun. I'm out. Vriska slams the door shut as she leaves. Tavros exhales a long sigh of relief. Well, that went pretty well for an encounter with Vriska, all things considered. I only feel somewhat terrible about who I am. Slowly, gently, you place a comforting hand on Tavros' shoulder and tell him that he deserves better than this. It's not his fault. Vriska is difficult. Yeah, Kanaya says that too.
I sometimes almost believe her when she does.
The room is silent, except for a faint wriggling noise coming from some of the balls on Tavros' floor. You don't know what else to say.
Would you enjoy playing some Fetal Spawn with me, perhaps? As a manner of distraction?
Oh, fuck yes, you tell him. Let's spawn some fetuses? Yeah. Your FLARP experience inured you to Alternian game design, so you're only mildly nauseated when Tavros shows you how the physical version of fetal spawn works. Chitinous, yeah. Purple critters explode from gooey orbs and infest plushies before bursting out in a form of large monster with more limbs than you're comfortable with. Also, you have a handful of cards with which boost their attributes or allow you to interfere with your opponent's monsters. There's a lot to keep track of here. Before too long, the room is full with chittering purple monstrosities and queasy-looking host plushes, on the verge of birthing even more abominations. You are so lost. But you think you're winning. Your creatures appear to be doing a better job of preying on his host plushes and spawning more of themselves. You've got a meter in the corner that keeps going up, while his goes down. That's good, right? You think it's good. At least there's victories is concerned. But you were more concerned with the dejected look on Tavros' face. He doesn't seem to be giving the game his all. You ask him if he's doing okay. No. Oh, okay. He just came out and said it. My fun has been stymied, I think, by my thoughts about Vriska. He wheels himself over to the window and looks despondently out.
I used to like Vriska a lot, you know, and admire her for her many qualities that were good, such as being very confident and having skill at games. But now I just hate her. Or feel like I should hate her, but instead do not feel those feelings. In their place, I feel very conflicted and bad about myself, and wonder if there is something wrong that I can't feel as angry as I should? Or maybe myself, or make myself to become strong enough to talk to her properly about my feelings? It's just a big mess.
You glance again at the posters lining Tavros' walls. Sprightly fairy girls with confident smiles, long messy hair, and blue color schemes. The resemblance to Vriska is uncanny. Did I not say that just before? But superficial. She's never going to be like the girl from his poster. That's just not who Vriska is. But for a sad, hurt boy who likes to dream, she must seem so painfully close. This is a problem too big for you to untangle right now. You need to redirect Tavros' thoughts. You close your eyes and ask your intuition. What should you do? This is a problem too big for... Oh, okay, and this is now the second choice. What time do I have? You know what? I think this is going to be the best place to stop for right now. We'll continue next time and see if I may have gone down a wrong path or if this is the right path. But for now, I would like to thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please put a like on the video. If you would like to see more of my content, please go subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss anything I upload. And as always, I will see you Thursday.